Technically, it's Christmas already, but for our purposes, it's Christmas Eve. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? Daily Go Get 'Em show. Sun 752. Everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. I like this. And with that Are y'all ready? I'm ready. Tonight, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, however you choose to say it, however you term it. It kind of depends on your time zone and your rhyme zone. What's going on? How y'all feeling? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate, and even if you don't celebrate, you can still be part of the celebration. It's all good. How y'all feeling? Everything is all right. You know, like I figured this would be a good time to have a show. We do this at 2:00 in the morning every night anyway, every weeknight. And we wasn't going to take tonight off because every day means every day. This is called the Daily Go Get 'Em show, not the, we don't take them school holidays. Everything is good. Good. So tonight on the Daily Go Get 'Em show, and please do me a favor before we do anything, can we get those likes popping? Can you hit the like button as you stroll on up in here, as you mosey on up in here? Trust me, it's going to be worth the like. I can guarantee that. Life doesn't have many guarantees, but I can guarantee you that it will be worth the like. I can at least, the very least I can do is ensure you that it'll be worth that. What's going on? What's that? One little cig mangoes. Love the music. That's what's up, man. I appreciate that. What kind of drum is that? That's a conga. That's a conga drum. And Nathan Likovic, praise Jesus. That's what's up. I feel you on that. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Little cig mangoes. We got a sub, y'all. Welcome to the club, y'all. We got a sub, y'all. Welcome to the club, y'all. We got a sub, y'all. Welcome to the club, y'all. Appreciate that all day. Cheryl Halsey, how you feeling? My good to see me some you. Without a doubt. And Kyler McDonald, what up? Dimples D's, what's going on? My good to see you. Listen, tonight on the Daily Go Getimism show, we are talking about it's not the job, it's the boss. It's not the job, it's the boss. I'm everyone's bestie. Man, y'all come up with the most colorful names on YouTube. I'm digging it. I'm everyone's bestie. Can you imagine? Such a phenomenon? A phenomenon? It's all good though. Yeah, tonight we're talking about it's not the job, it's the boss. So we're going to talk about when you may be working on a job that you can do. It may not be a hard job. It may be something that's in your profession or in your skill set. And the job is good. The job is okay. Maybe even your coworkers are okay. Management might not be okay. Ownership may not be okay. Their business practices may not be okay. And, you can find yourself in these types of situations. And when you find yourself in these types of situations, it can be a little disheartening. One thing that is, I think, a real bad downer is when you have to get up every morning or afternoon or evening to go to a job, to make your money, to sustain your livelihood, to be able to afford to live, and you don't like the job. I think that's the worst feeling in the world. If it ain't the worst feeling, it's close. The only comparable feeling I can think of is when you're living with somebody that you can't stand. Sleeping with the enemy, literally. Like, a loveless marriage or a baseless relationship. You're basically roommates, but you're pretending to be lovers, or you're pretending to be a couple. That's not a good situation. But that's a whole different kettle of fish. That's a different scenario. Tonight we're talking about it's not the job, it's the boss. So a situation where the job is okay. Even the money might be okay. Not all the time, but maybe the money is okay. But it may not jive right with your spirit. Something about the job and the way that they do things may just turn you off so bad that you're like, listen, I gotta get out of this job. I'm going on Indeed.com, careerbuildermonster.com. What's the other one? I don't know. I used to be working so many of them, back in the day that it was hard to keep tabs on them. But the bottom line is you may be looking for another job because this one may be unfulfilling for you only because of the way they do things. And the way that they do things on a job can really, really concern you. Some people seem to be able to just accept the money or, go to work, do their 8 hours or whatever. And sometimes overtime and just take their ass home and everything is okay. Sometimes some people don't like to rock the boat. They don't like to ask a lot of questions. They don't like to make trouble. And I'm like, where you make your money, you have the right. See, the thing is, wherever you make money, you actually pay money. The job makes more money off of you. They make money off of your labor. And we can get in situations where we can forget that we are the help. We are the talent. Never, ever. I'm going to put that in the chat. Single blackjack dealer. What's going on? She said, I come to watch. I come to clean. That's what's up. And David Neal, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. I'm going to put this in the chat. Never forget that you are the talent at your job. There are times when you can forget that because you know, a lot of times we're at our jobs and we're thinking about doing a job good enough so that we don't get fired, so that we don't get laid off, so that we don't get let go, so that we don't, we don't get terminated. And sometimes worrying about those things can lead up to abusive behavior. Job abusive behavior. Because if you've ever been on a job where they practice a lot of unfairness, have you ever been on a job? Have any of you ever been on a job where there's blatant or okay, let's say this, blatant inequality, blatant racism or unfairness? Blatant. I'm not talking about things that you think are unfair, like seniority benefits. Like these people who have been working here for double-digit years are able to have more vacation days than people who just got here. That's not unfair. Those are perks. That's a situation where people have built themselves up to have those entitlements. So, those are not unfair practices that I'm talking about. When I say unfair practices, I'm talking about like things that may cross color lines. Like, I noticed that nobody of color is in management. Everybody in management is a WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. And I'm not saying that I'm not trying to, shake up the pot, stir up the pot. I'm not trying to stir up any trouble, but there have been jobs where I've seen this, where they don't have any black people in management. And I think that that's a problem. And you think about in today's political climate, how can you get away with that shit? Even on union jobs, I've seen it. I've seen people protest and picket, boycott, like, for example, a construction site because there are no people of color on the construction site. Everybody there is lily white, and of course, none of them are going to complain because they get all the money. And when everybody looks like you, there's nothing really to complain about except for the money. Well, when you run into a situation like that, it's going to raise your eyebrows, and it's going to, it's all good until that person is you. When it's you that has to deal with the inequality, with, underlying or subtle racist practices and things like that. And I'm not saying that happens on all jobs, but one of the things that can really turn you off from a job are things like that, where they don't really expect anybody to say anything, and you might feel some kind of way about it. Individually, you may feel some kind of way about it. Everybody else or nobody else may say anything. Everybody else may be okay with the arrangement, and you may not be okay with the arrangement. So you walk away from a six-figure job because in your spirit, you don't feel like it's fair. Like, okay, I made six figures here. I'll make six figures there. Maybe one day I'll make seven figures somewhere or on my own. But we're talking about it's not the job, it's the management, or it's not the job, it's the boss, it's the ownership, it's the business practices, it's the things that get in the way, right in the way. What's up, Princess Lioness? And Merry Christmas to you as well. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. Mucho, mucho, mucho. But yeah, it's not the job, it's the boss. And sometimes it could literally be the boss. It could literally be the owner or whoever the director is or the manager is or something like that. How many of y'all have been on jobs where you have a supervisor or a manager who acts like they own the company? I know I can't be the only one who has ever been on a job and experienced somebody who takes their job maybe a little too seriously. Sometimes in a good way and sometimes in a bad way. Like they are literally taking ownership of their position. And when something like that happens, and at first it may be a little funny, it may be a little cute. It's like, oh, you think you the boss? You ain't nobody. You're just a manager, or you're just a supervisor. You might just be a team leader. When they throwing their weight around, and when and if you don't acknowledge their power of their position, they may set you up to look bad or get fired or something like that. It can get ugly. It can get ugly like Whoopi Goldberg in the 80s. No disrespect, Whoopi. You've been doing better lately. Single Blackjack Dealer says, I wish everyone happy and healthy holiday season. Hope y'all all enjoy the show. Getting back to the black. That's what's up. Go ahead. Get the money. Johnny West, my brother Johnny West says, I got a good boss, and a good boss is a good thing. A good boss lets you do your thing and everybody makes money. I totally 100% agree. I totally 100% agree. Now, in order to know that you have a good boss, you had to have had a bad boss at some point. You had to have had a boss that left something to be desired. One of those bosses. You know what I'm talking about. Hello, world, my peoples. What up, son? It's the culture and an influence and picks and chooses but hey, I find myself doing me at times. I say protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times. You have the right to protect yourself on the job at all times. One thing you'll notice about management and upper management, they practice a lot of self-preservation. I don't mean just holding back on work. I mean, they will do the things that will allow them to keep their job no matter who else loses theirs. And it's not a bad idea to take some cues from them sometimes. Even if you don't really respect the process of what they're doing or how they do things, you can still learn a lot from them and maybe take a page out of their book, or at least be able to combat and defend yourself against the things that you know that they will do. You got a boss who likes to set you up to get written up and eventually terminated. Well, you got to know how to circumvent that. You got to learn how to get around that. You can't just keep wishing and praying that he changes and stops picking on you, because he's not. And that's the thing that a lot of people really hate about management. When you're dealing with a management team that always seems like they're pitting employees against each other, or when you have a work atmosphere where it's subordinates versus management, the workers versus the bosses, that type of shit, that's okay. It's okay when we talking about a basketball game with some kind of recreational competition. You know, the shirts versus the skins, that type shit. But you know, on your job, you don't want a whole lot. You didn't come there to battle. You came there to make some money. Go in there, do your job. You know, do your 8 and skate. Do your 8 and skate or work real late. One or the other. You there to get money. And it's so easy to get on a job and lose focus of why you got the job in the first place. It should be easy to remember when you first got the job, you needed the job. It was paying more than you were making somewhere else. Even if previous jobs that you had paid more than this job, right now, this job is paying more than what you was getting. You needed this job. I don't know how people get away from that. Because if you needed the job before you got the job, you sure need to keep the job while you're on the job. But sometimes we get caught up in the social atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. And certain bosses, when they see you getting caught up in the social atmosphere, then they want to break up the social atmosphere. Like, oh, okay. So this clique over here, they are the ones who steal time. They are the ones who come back late from lunch. They are the ones who sign each other in or punch each other in, you know, with the time clock and all that kind of stuff. They are the ones who think they run management. You know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all been there. I don't care whether you're union or non-union. You know, at every job they got clicks, whether you are part of one or not. So, sometimes work can be just like high school. The cool kids are doing this, and the nerds are doing this. You know, hey, it can get ugly out here. It can get ugly out here. Okay. At-risk employee. Oh, shit. Somebody knows something about corporate America. Somebody's had a job for a while. Somebody's read the employee handbook. Somebody's worked close to management. Somebody's working in HR. Somebody knows what it's like to be a subordinate. Somebody knows about supervision, management, upper management, and the chairman. They know the inside track. Yeah. They know you know what I'm talking. You know what I am talking about, man. You know. Okay. Johnny West says, if you can work yourself into a specific category and be the best at it, you don't have to worry about the money. It just comes. Yes and no. You may be the best at what you do, but you may not have self-management skills. Some people are just better working for somebody else. Some people are just better. Doesn't mean just because you're not a leader at work doesn't mean that you're not a good person. It doesn't mean that you are you don't have value. It doesn't mean that. Not everybody wants to be a boss. Not everybody wants that. It's a lot of responsibility. Being a boss is like owning a house. You know how some people would rather pay rent because they don't want maintenance problems. They don't want to have to get sinks fixed and roofs fixed and put on decks and all. They don't want all that. They want somebody else to incur those costs, and they just pay their rent and they don't have to worry about maintenance problems. So just like in a house, just like when you rent an apartment instead of owning a house, you pay forever. When you work at a job, you are subject to whatever they want to pay you. When you are in management, you're going to be constantly trying to elevate. You get certain perks. You know, management in some jobs, in some professions, they get extra bonuses. But the thing is, they get bonuses for keeping you down. They get bonuses for limiting or eliminating overtime. They get bonuses for directly affecting the bottom line of the company. That means regulating you as a subordinate. So the only way to get around that as a subordinate is to step up and be the boss. Not everybody want to do that. So you're going to have to get comfortable in your own subordinate skin. It's okay. It's all right. It could be a lot worse. Ashley, what's up, Ashley? And Dimple D says, poor manager who treats their employees poorly will face consequences for their behavior, potentially through employee turnover, decreased productivity, and complaints. Those are facts. Those are facts. Kevin Mackin, I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? Says, I'm a business owner, but I work alone. I keep it simple, save my money, and travel on the regular. I ain't mad at that. Johnny West says, I will say training young bucks is different. They complain about everything. Yeah, because they don't know how to work. They don't. As simple as that. Like this Gen Z, they haven't been brought up on work. You know, Generation Xers, we come from a work background. We come from a background of after school jobs. That's where we come from. You don't have after school jobs anymore. I don't hear any young people talking about they have an after school job. I have not heard one Gen Z talk about an after school job. It's not their fault. There are no jobs anymore that teenagers can get because everything is internet based. Everything is internet based. All right, y'all. We over 25 minutes in. It's time for us to get dressed. I got on my uniform. Y'all see I got my cow bones on. It's time for y'all to put y'all cow bones on. It's time for y'all to put y'all. We all have to wear our uniform. This is a show about work. We have to put on our uniform. This is a required attire for this job. So which one y'all want to wear? The one on the left, genuine cow bones, baby. You know what I mean? You like the one on the left. This is the one on the left, or the one in the middle. This is a popular one. The one in the middle, good designs, all cow bones, or the one on the right, darker accents. Nice. Sure Halsey says middle, good looking. All right, so the one in the middle is this one. This is the one in the middle. Which one y'all want? Come on, y'all staring. Y'all not writing. All right, this is the one on the left. This is the one on the left. Huh? KD, what up? KD, this is the one in the middle. This is the one on the right. All right, we got two for middle. Since y'all going so slow, we're going to go with the middle. Middle is going to win because this process can't take all night. You know what happens when you go to work and you got stomach issues and you in the bathroom too long. They might send your ass home. It looks like you stealing time. All right, let's do this. Yeah, that's better. That one got the good light. Good light. Look at you. Y'all looking great. Looking great. Looking straight. Looking great. Looking straight. Ladies, you're looking beautiful. You're looking sweet. You're looking lovely. You're looking gorgeous. You're looking pretty. You're looking sexy. Lady. Hey, ladies and brothers, you're looking handsome. You're looking suave. You're looking debonair. You're looking distinguished. You're looking dope. You're looking smooth. You got your soft stuff on. Everybody looking good tonight. real good. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking good. Take a screenshot. Or give it what you got and take a screenshot. You know you love it a lot. Or take a screenshot. Yeah, you know how it go when we was rocking on the DG show with your man. Oh, his name is Son. Yeah, he's the 752, not the 751. So it's not the job, it's the boss. Has anybody ever left a job just because they couldn't deal with management? Maybe the money was okay. Maybe the money was actually good. Maybe the people who you worked with the exception of management, maybe they were okay. Maybe they was cool. You know, the type of people who you would exchange numbers with. You know, you give your personal cell phone number to. Hey, yo, man, you know, holler at me on the weekends or something. Well, meet me at this spot, or, you know, I'm about to leave this job, but I want to make sure that we keep in touch, man. You good people. I like to hang out with you sometimes. You good? You know, that type of thing. That type of thing. Have you ever left a job where the work atmosphere was okay, but the management atmosphere was, the business practices was, the owner was, all right. Anyway, says, thank you. I ain't just an old man. Young people complain. I ain't just an old man. Young people complaining about everything, man. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Emily Dunlap is in the house. Wow, she about to turn it out. What up, ma? Good to see you. Good to see you. And Merry Christmas to all y'all. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Dimple D says, oh, well, middle, it looked like middle would have won. Okay. Dimples D says, bad boss, good lesson, avoid micromanaging. No one likes to be hovered over, metaphorically or literally. Communicate frequently and in a detailed way. Leadership is about support, not power. Accurate writing there. Everything you wrote is 100% true. Hello World says, yeah, it's easy to stay in the crowd and be critical of who up there on that stage. Heavy. He says, phone policy. I'm like, put your phone away. They like everyone on the phone. Man, that's some truthful shit. That is some truthful shit. There's always one person on the job that can't get away from their phone. They in their phone all the time. And they might be doing manual labor. They checking their phone all the time, like hammer in one hand. What's wrong with this nail? First of all, motherfucker, you right-handed. Johnny West says, ever farted on a Christmas present and then waited till the next day to watch them open? You know what? You got to stop. You got this. You got it. Yeah, listen. When I was a kid, I would have already opened my presents by now. Because my mom let us open up our shit at midnight. And I used to be like, all right, I'm not going to open up all of them because I want to still look forward to something in the morning. I used to open every last one of them motherfuckers. Morning come, after I get finished opening up my shit, playing with my shit, enjoying my shit. Now I go to bed and I come home. But by the time I wake up in the morning now, I'm like, all my presents is old. All my presents are old. Yeah. But yeah, it's not the job. You know what? How about this? How about maybe the job was okay, maybe the money was okay. Maybe some of the benefits weren't okay. Like they didn't have a very good benefits package. Now, you have to be a very OCD or meticulous person to really care about the benefits package. But on the flip side, maybe that's not what you have to be, because your benefits equal your entitlements. So if you plan to be working at that place for a long time, you want to make sure that you get what you have coming to you when the time for you to stop working there comes. Whether it's retirement or whether you leave the job, you want to make sure that you leave in good standing. You want to get you want to get everything that is contractually owed to you, because they're going to require that everything that you contractually promised to them gets delivered to them, or they're going to fire you. KB says, my charge nurse is a big micromanager. Can't stand it. Oh, you a nurse. Oh, charge nurse. Charge nurse. The nurse who's in charge. She's not the nurse supervisor. She's in charge of a particular department. OR, ER, first floor, second floor, third floor, charge nurse. Yeah. Nurses, nursing is an interesting profession. It really is, because if you are a registered nurse, you can easily command a six-figure salary and feel like a peon at the same time. It's one of the weirdest things. 3-day work week, 12 hours, which is no disrespect, but that was the dumbest thing that they could have implemented. The 3-day work week, 12 hours a day. Because by the time you get to the second day or the third day, you're burnt out, and it has an effect on the way that you deal with patients. It just does, because you're tired. So your brain is not working at full capacity because you're tired. A lot of nurses don't eat very well. You're in a place for 12 hours. Now you can say, yeah, but it's 3 days on, 3 days off. And a lot of nurses do overtime. So it's a lot to it. It's a lucrative profession. How many professions do you know where you can command a six-figure salary with just a bachelor's degree? That one does. That one allows you to do it. Now, of course, there's some who don't make the whole six figures. Some only make in the 80s and 90s. But you can easily make the six. Easily. Johnny West says, play the Nintendo game on Christmas morning. Man, listen. Those were the days. But yeah, man. Yeah. You may not like the business, the benefits package. Like maybe the benefits package that you are getting declined in recent years. So maybe your 401k used to pay 2-to-1. Now it doesn't pay 2-to-1. Maybe there was a time when it was paying 3-to-1. So the advertisement was looking good. 401k nowadays is a joke. I mean, y'all have to forgive me because I'm prejudiced against 401k. I don't put no money in that shit. I'm like, I can save my own money. Yeah, but it's not gaining any interest. Yeah, but when I need it, I can use it. And if I want to invest it in something like what they do, I can do it. I can do that too. But first, you got to be able to save money. And a lot of people have a problem saving money. So, there's discipline that's involved. But what I don't like about 401k is that number one, it's not as lucrative as it used to be. So you kind of have to work years and years before it starts adding up to anything. And then the other thing is that I don't like when you need to borrow from your money, you have to ask for permission. I don't like that. And sometimes they tell you no. I'm like, what do you mean no? It's my money. Even if you're only counting the money that you are giving me on my return, I still paid money in. Now, it could be a funeral. It could be your car broke down. Your refrigerator's not working. Your house heater broke. You have a leaky roof. Bottom line is you need to borrow money from your 401k, from your 401k, and they telling you that you got to wait. You know, by the time you actually get the money for 401k, that emergency is over. And that's why I plus, you know, I'm not in any way a business guru, but I can count. And I read some business shit. I read some business stuff. So yeah, I don't like that having to borrow. What you mean I gotta borrow my money and y'all gotta approve it? Man, don't give me my fucking shit. So first thing I do when I get a job, I'd be like, yo, no 401k. And they be looking at me funny, like, you don't like 401k? No, I don't. First of all, I like getting all my money. It's bad enough the IRS taking some, nobody else getting none. Not before I touch mine. I don't think that is fair that other people get to take your money or touch your money or deduct from your money before you get a chance to. Oh yeah, here's what's left. So you get paid $22 an hour, but not really. After all is said and done, you'll be lucky to make $15 an hour. But hey, you could be homeless. You could be broke. You could be jobless. Boo. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button, please. I'm glad that y'all here. Yo, we going into 2025 next year. But right now, here it is, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve to us. But yo, I got something to say. We play the way that we do. And yo, it's Christmas for me and you. Even though you may not celebrate, maybe you hate different religion, doesn't matter. It's a new pigeon. It's a stool pigeon. No, I ain't telling on nobody, but it's Christmas Day. Better grab a hottie, buy a little present, drink a little eggnog, yo, spike the thing up, yo. But don't hog it all to yourself. It's time to share. And you ain't bring no presents around here. Damn, man, that's a goddamn shame. You are to blame. When anybody says your name, they associated with something that's slimy, sort of like a worm. And when you try to get out of something, you squirm. I'm asking the question, making suggestions for somebody else, but I'm teaching the lessons and the blessings that I be given. You understand? This is how I do, and it's how I'm living. Hit the like button. That's all I'm asking. In the sunshine, in the light, that's where I'm basking. No, the shady tree is not what I need today. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I feel this way. I'm taking a little break from the whole subject matter. You know, the whole it's not the job, it's the boss. I just want to talk to y'all a little bit something about Christmas. What up, Kobe? What up, Kobe? What's good? Okay, hold on. Johnny West says, I can always tough baddie nurse on a subway because she's filling out the blue ass pants. Oh man, KB says, LOL, I'm a CNA. It's the whole wanting to control everything type of attitude that gets me. I get it. I get it. There was these as facts. Johnny West says 100% agree. Ever try to take a decent amount of money out of your bank? Good luck getting it in 3 days. Ain't that some shit? Kobe, what's good? I wanted to tell you about Christmas. I was thinking about Christmas. Like, you know what? I don't care whether you are Christian or Muslim or Jew or whatever. You know, I was thinking about, like, I like Christmas time because people act a little different. The Christmas spirit ain't like when we was younger and almost everybody it seemed like they celebrated Christmas or whatever. Culturally, you know, it just seemed like Christmas was the thing to do. And not as many people were, you know, practice a different religion, whatever, as back then. Even if you didn't practice any religion, you know, you still celebrate Christmas, the commercial part of it, you know what I mean, as far as giving gifts and all that kind of stuff. But Christmas is a fun time of the year. They decorate everything. You know, there are lots of parties. There are festivities. And it seems like the Christmas season comes and goes so fast. And the thing is, after Christmas, now I know that Christmas can be very stressful for some people, financially, emotionally. You know, if you've ever lost someone around Christmas time or lost someone at any time of the year, in any year, and you know, Christmas time might be the time when you conjure up those old memories of when y'all spent Christmases together, you know, when y'all used to be together, whether it's your parents, old lover, friend, brother, sister, whatever, aunts, uncles, whatever. At family gatherings, particularly at Christmas time, you get the personality of your family. Hopefully the good part, even if they drink too much or whatever. But you get it. After Christmas, all you have left is wintertime. Real shit. You ever think about that shit? After Christmas, before Christmas, there's music. There are cartoons. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, Charlie Brown Christmas, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, A Year Without a Santa Claus, Heat Miser, Cold Miser, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman. You got music, New Edition, Boys the Men, Let It Snow, New Edition. Santa's riding on his magic sleigh, goes all around the world in just a day. You know, Donny Hathaway, Bing Crosby, goddamn. You got good music, sales everywhere. You know what I mean? So you be trying not to overspend. You be trying not to spend nothing. You be like, yo, y'all got it for that cheap? I gotta buy it. Sometimes you might have to hold back from buying more shit for yourself than anybody else. But like I said, after Christmas time on December 26th, 27, 28, 29, it ain't nothing but winter time. Snow, cold, ice. My people who live up north know what I'm talking about. Blizzards and shit. Shoveling, putting down salt, and that other little white pellet shit that you use to melt the snow and ice. Get in your car, gotta let that shit warm up for a minute. Be cold in that bitch. I hope you got automatic start. I'm saying, man, all I'm saying is this. Well, I don't care what religion you are, whatever. People be trying to steal a little bit of Christmas. Like, I don't mind getting a present. Oh, you bought me a Christmas present? Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. What you get me? Oh, shit. This is nice. This is nice. The thing, like I said, I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care if you converted to any other religion. You still going to want a little piece of Christmas. And that's why when I hear people, you know, you know, talking down about Christmas and all that kind of stuff. I mean, like, yeah, there's pain there. We talking about somebody who didn't get what they wanted back in the day. That's all that shit is. It's a pagan holiday. It ain't even Jesus' real birthday. I get it. You can't say what day his birthday was. At least they picked a day. Jesus was a Capricorn. You got to deal with it. It's something you got to deal with. Jesus was a Capricorn. I said Jesus was a Capricorn. The other thing about it is, like I said, right after Christmas, all you got is cold and snow, ice, black ice. Anybody and everybody who likes black ice, holla at me. You don't like that shit. It's a pain in the ass. Slide your ass right. You slip and slide your ass right into heaven. Fuck black ice. Christmas, good. Black ice, bad. Christmas lights, good. Snow, bad. Even though people be talking that shit like, yo, you know, white Christmas and all that. You don't hear nobody in Chicago or anywhere in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. No, fuck a white Christmas. We be having white Christmases, white Thanksgivings. I don't need no more white. No. Shit. No, everybody want white Christmas. Nobody wanted a white shovel to make a pathway. Somebody slide on, slip and fall on your damn property, and you know what I mean? Fuck up your home insurance. Info Spot 411. What's going on, my dude? What's good? He says Merry Christmas update. Santa's in Allentown on his way to Philadelphia soon. I heard that. That's Lehigh County. So he's traveling. Okay, he's traveling east. That's what's up. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Johnny West says some dude from the Caribbean taught me that white boys always depressed, and the winter you need to eat more bananas. And I did. And I was happier in the wintertime. Touche. Info Spot says, that's why I like bowling. Whether it's 70 degrees year round. Yeah. I mean, 70 degrees, you can't beat that. Year round. Only thing is, I needed to go up to 80, 85 because I can't swim. And, I like to go to the pool. Outdoors, and you can't swim in those 70 degrees. You'll be cold and well. Is that boy 70-degree water cold? That's it, cold mud. Cheryl Halsey, what's good? She says black ice very bad. It is. You be slipping and sliding like the Poseidon Adventure. All right, so. I'm finished bitching about wintertime. And I don't even hate wintertime. All I'm saying is that Christmas time is fun. I don't care what religion you are. You know what? Even if you don't celebrate, let's say you have total contempt for Christianity and Christmas. I bet you like that Christmas money. I bet you're not shutting your doors down from Black Friday to New Year's. You ain't gonna do that. We out here getting this Christmas cash. Ain't no money like Christmas money because Thanksgiving money ain't shit. Info Spot says summer is great for grilling. It certainly is, isn't it? You know I came by your page and checked out your corn shucking video. Pretty impressive. It was. Like I said, I don't even eat corn on the cob. But I was like, it should actually look pretty good. It's not that corn is nasty. I just kind of like it off of the cob. Johnny West says, thinking of a good black ice joke. Oh, man. Thinking of a good black ice joke. Yes, right. Put it to use. See what you can, kick it around, see what you can find. But back to our regularly scheduled program. Yeah, it's not the job. It's the boss. It's the management. You know, you may work at a job where you like all of the overhead. All of the overhead on the job is good. They may have a great fitness center at the job. Anybody work at a job where like they have a top-notch fitness center? Like everything is in there. They got all the machines. Yeah, they got free weights and everything. But the money ain't shit. Y'all spending all this money on everything except for employee salaries. How you love that? How you love that? I've been on jobs where they not only had a nice fitness center, nice gym in there, they also had fitness classes. Yeah, you signed up for yoga. Are you going to yoga? We got yoga here, huh? Yes, we signed up for yoga. And this was a struggling business. They had them yoga mats popping though. So the money might be garbage, but all the other little perks are nice. Or maybe the money is, is competitive. Maybe the money is competitive. But once again, like I said, maybe the benefits package is garbage. Maybe they don't give you enough vacation time. Like, maybe they only give you 1 week's vacation. Like 1 week? Yeah, 1 week. So we only get 40 vacation hours? Not 80. Not 80. It can't accrue to more than that? Well, right now it's capped. It's capped for 1 week. So you got 5 days. It's crazy. I worked at a job like that. The money was ass. The benefits was ass. You ever work at a job where you can barely afford any health insurance or any, you forget about vision and dental. Forget about that. Forget about that. The health insurance was so expensive you could not afford it. You got to get Obamacare because at your job, you can't afford the health care plan. KP says, yes, after Christmas is my wedding. Come on, 2025. Well, peace to you. But like I say, ain't number wintertime. But you're on your way to Africa. Not a whole lot of snow-capped mountains there. Maybe you mean Kilimanjaro. Info Spot says, tell us a good Christmas date story. You have a lot of good stories. I have a lot of Christmas date stories. Except one comes to mind. This one baffles me to this day. I was dating this chick Christmas of 91? It had to be 90. It was definitely 91. I came home on Christmas break, met this girl at Macy's. She was going up the elevator. I was going down. She was a fly cutie. You know, got a number, called her. You know, she came over the crib. Bottom line is, we exchanged presents and all that. She know I got to go back to school. So I'm only going to see her when I get back. So, you know, while I'm up at school, I'm calling and all of that, you know. I'm like, yeah, when I get home, you know, we're going to see each other, blah, 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 blah. I get back home. I'm taking a long route to say this girl never gave me no ass. And she was older than me. And this had me really, really baffled. Like, what? Like, at 21, you could slip, trip, fall into some ass. She was being stingy. And you know, when you are 20 or 21, anybody who's older, any woman that's older than you be looking at her like she an older woman. Like she's experienced. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, I met her at Macy's, going down in King of Prussia. But she lived in Philly, and I was like, what's happening here? Like it had me wondering if like something was wrong with her. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. Y'all can be mad at me all I want. And I was like, at 21 years old, I was like, no. You know I'm only home for weekends and stuff like that, man. You gotta come through. You gotta, when I go back up school, I got nothing but ass. Penn State ass for campus wide. When I come home, I'm looking for some Philly special. To this day, I got nothing. I got nothing. I don't even remember her name. I bet you if I got some ass, I would remember her name. But anyway, Johnny West says, in Philly, do you work for the union? Nah. I'm a manager. I work in management, so you know, I had to go head to head with the union. But actually, I respect the union and I actually like it. It's the craziest thing, but I'd rather manage in a union environment than non-union. And the reason being is that in a union environment, everything is cut and dry. You know what you can do and what you can't do. You know what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. So those arbitration meetings and all of that kind of shit. Like I'm not the type of manager that tries to set people up or that likes to see people fail. I'm actually exactly the opposite. I want to see you do well, whether you do well here or whether you do well in life elsewhere. Because I tell people all the time, like, listen, man, this not your last stop. So any skills that you gain here, you're going to take those skills with you. They belong to you. We cannot take those away from you when you no longer work here. So learn everything about your job that you can possibly learn so you can take it somewhere, because somebody is going to pay you for that. They're going to pay you handsomely. So, I haven't worked in a union environment since 2021. I kind of miss it. Info spot. Wait, hold on. Johnny West says, I can tell a great Christmas Day story. Go ahead. Info spot says, isn't Temple University in Philadelphia? Yep, it's right down the street from me. I live in North Philly. Temple's in North Philly. They run North Philly too. They done bought everything in that part of North Philly. Johnny West says, I came from a non-union to union. Everybody tried to steal money. Some of it should go to you. That's the way I think about it. I ain't mad at those thoughts. That's actually a valid thought. Blazer says, live better, work union. Hey, man, only thing about the union is this. And this is from the employee standpoint. If you don't get in trouble at work, then you're basically paying to play. If you're the type of person that gets in trouble at work, union is for you, because they're going to argue your case and get you out of trouble, no matter how ridiculous the violation was that you committed. You know? Like, so we're going to arbitration with this guy because he punched a supervisor in the face. Like, what are we doing? Well, it ain't as simple as he just punched the dude in the face. First of all, they was fighting. I'm like, no, they weren't fighting. He sucker punched his supervisor. Well, without the benefit of having video, the way that our member told the story was the supervisor flinched at him first and pushed him. And that's how they fought. So it wasn't just like he punched him in the face. It wasn't like that. Like, no, that's exactly how it went. The supervisor's back was turned. He punched the boy in the back of the head. Well, don't you agree that it's rude to turn your back on somebody? I mean, would you like it if somebody turned their back on you while you was talking? That's the kind of shit. That's the kind of shit managers gotta deal with when they go to arbitration. Sometimes I would literally be in there laughing like, InfoSpot says, problem with the union is you can't reward merit. That's true. The good thing about a union is it prevents favoritism in general. Yeah, in general, because there's mad favoritism in the union. Blazer says, I got that from a bumper sticker. Okay, no doubt. Johnny West says, no, actually, people in a union work out the assholes. So it all depends on the union. It all depends. Because I worked under the Teamsters and some local unions, yeah. Some of them foster a lot of BS. Or should I say create an environment of a whole lot of BS. Something you got to deal with. It's something you got to deal with. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. Johnny West says, it depends on how deep you rent and what city. Rent? Blazer says, a lot of politics got to go by the book. Yeah, if you're a manager, it would behoove you to read the union handbook. So when union members come to you talking about, no, I don't have to do this. I don't have to wear my uniform. I ain't got to do this. I ain't got to do that. I'm not out of compliance. No, that's not. I wasn't working outside. I wasn't outside of my work area. No, I wasn't on an unauthorized break. No, I wasn't. 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 you was out for 4 or 6 sick days, but you didn't bring back a note. You know, after 3 days, you have to bring in a doctor's note. Yeah, but what if I was too sick to go to the doctor? I mean, I was sick. I had COVID. I was laid up. I couldn't go to no doctor. Well, don't you think it would have been a good idea if you would have went to the doctor after you got better from COVID and he could have given you a note? Well, after I felt better, I figured I need to go back to work. I know y'all needed me here. All right. We have a caller on the line. Caller with the last number is 0297.
You have a call.
Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
Hey, Zed from Detroit calling in here.
What's good, my dude?
A couple union stories, and then one of the stories I'm going to tell, it's on YouTube, so anybody listening to the show, you could check it out on YouTube. It dealt with some workers from Chrysler in the city of Detroit. There's this, they call it the Jefferson North plant. They make the Jeep Grand Cherokee there. And this, I think this happened around 2008 or 9 or 10, around there. But long story short, there was a news channel, Fox 2 Detroit, and they got a tip, and they did this undercover news story. And so, long story short, they caught, I want to say it was like 15 to 20 of these union workers. They were going to this liquor store down the street from the car plant and getting the 40 ounces in the liquor. And then there was this park about like another mile down, and they would all drive in there and go on a drinking binge and smoking pot for like a couple of hours. And I've heard of this goes on, at the plants, and you have somebody who clocks the other workers back in, while they're taking a 2-hour lunch, smoking and drinking. So anyway, this guy from this Fox 2's news channel, they had some undercover cameras, and they filmed it for like 3 or 4 days. All these union workers, these groups of them that were going over there on these drinking benches and smoking and taking these 2 or 3 hour lunches. And when the story aired, Chrysler was about to fire, I think it was around there, like close to, like a good 20 of them or so. But then the union stepped in, and a lot of them just said, oh, we have an alcohol problem. And as long as they roll in AA and, serve maybe like a 4-day suspension without pay or something like that, they intervened. And there was only like 2 or 3 of them that ended up getting terminated on it. But, I guess it's, how you look at it. But it goes with the good and bad. They protect the deadbeat workers just as much as some other workers that might be victims, where some manager or supervisor doesn't like somebody for some personal reason, and they try to set them up, or they want to just boom them out the door. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, we have to have a fair due process here. But just as much as they protect some of these deadbeats that need to, hit the road and actually making a worse work environment in general. But yeah, if you go on YouTube and you look up like Chrysler workers caught drinking on the job, it's kind of a funny news story though, man. It was, they pulled in these, they were all piled up in these trucks and SUVs, man. And you see them in there just pounding down these 40 ounces. Then he even had a reporter going to the liquor store, and you see him just hit the coolers. They grab their shit and just get drunk up their ass, and they're smoking the bud. Then finally, when he went to confront them in the park, man, they just take off like a bat out of hell. And then towards the end of the news story, they showed it to like one of these white collar big execs with Chrysler at the plant there. And you could just see the look on his face. He just wanted to grab all their badges and say, there's the door, don't come back,
Did they try to go back to work, or was it like when they went to go get the 40 ounces, the work day was basically done for them?
I believe they would go back to work, where they had like an hour lunch, but they would take 2 hour or 2.5 hour lunch and come back and work for like another hour and a half, then go clock out. You know, I've heard of that stuff. Someone will come back in and then, clock them in or cover something and that they'll swap, there's been some crazy shit. I had a friend of mine worked at a General Motors plant, tell me about, they would bring topless dancers in and they'd have trailers in the back of the parking lot from gambling to you want drugs. And he said it was just like its own city and its own at these automotive plants. But it's a funny video clip, man, on YouTube. But basically, you could pull it up. Chrysler workers caught drinking on the job. I'll pull it up. Fox 2 Detroit. I think it's about like a 15-minute segment.
Okay.
But before I get my second story, my experience is like there's good and bad with just about everything in life, and the good part with the union, which I like in general, is the collective bargaining helps some of these benefits that probably wouldn't be there, from like dental and healthcare. As far as getting something decent provided to you.
Yeah.
Some can argue, hey, competitive workplace, does that. But me is my biggest thing. What I like about unions is when I seen non-union work environments, in corporations, if there's some of that favoritism that goes on. Where somebody just all of a sudden got promoted and it wasn't done fairly, or, Joe Schmo always gets hooked up with certain off days and shit like that just because so-and-so was liked, it's like, hey, you shouldn't be like this. It should be done on merit. Or, that's where the union will step in. Or in worst case scenario, some manager doesn't like somebody, so they, try to set them up to get them out of there. Well, if there's a union, then they'll say, hey, wait a minute. Got to be due process. Why is it that this person's getting written up, suspended? You say he's creating a hostile work environment. You got to be a little more specific than that. What the hell did he or she do? That's where union will challenge that. So that's the good side. The bad side, like I said, with the merit, it's hard to reward. Let me give you an example. Make this easy to understand. Let's talk automotive plant, like UAW, for example. You could have someone on the line who's been there 15, 16 years, does the bare minimum, is just like, hey, I got another 6 or 8 years, I'm retiring, and I'm burnt out in the job, and I don't care if I have this management, and this is all they're getting from me. And someone's got 3 or 4 years in there, still really busting their ass and doing well. Well, you can't say, hey, we'd like to give you a $200 bonus, or we'd like to do this promotion to you, such and such, within the union. They'll be like, wait, everything's got to be done collectively. So it's tough to reward merit when you have that collective bargaining, so that's one of the drawbacks, which makes it tough. And then, that's one of the unfortunate side effects. A lot of times it deadbeat who makes a bad work environment will get protected.
It happens all the time. Now, the thing about it is, just like what you were talking about is, just like what you were talking about as far as not being able to be, promoted or rewarded on merit. They also kind of block your access to advancement. Like, what if you want to be a manager or a supervisor or something like that? What if you want to, elevate your employment profile? You can't do that through the union. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be in management and be in the union. No way around it. There's no way to do that. So I think that in some ways, that's like, it's a little crippling, ambitious wise to me. You know what I mean? Because it kind of keeps you blue collar. Not that there's anything wrong with being blue collar, but what if you want to command a much higher salary? You're going to have to leave the union. There's no way around it. except for that there are people in the unions who make extra money. They always deny it. No, we don't get any money for doing this. We don't get any money for doing that. I'm like, look, somebody getting paid. And in the union, in the union itself, they have officers. So there's a hierarchy in the damn union.
True. Yeah.
So you have the vice president. You got the vice president. You have officer. You have president of the union. So it's like, well, the same thing that y'all block the employees or the members from doing, but y'all practice this as a business. So the money always is always going to be made, and it's always going to be shifted to wherever they want it to go. But to act like, I'm not going to say act like nothing. I just see that as an issue. Like you can make a decent salary, but you're only going to make but so much. So if you get up to $25 an hour, great. But if you want to make $50 an hour, or you want to get paid on salary, there's no way to do it in the union. But I get it. It's it's called a labor union for a reason. It's not called I was about to say it's not called a pencil pushers union. However, teachers are part of a union too. They're unionized. Yep. So you can't say that they're not meant to be pencil pushers or whatever, because they have plenty of jobs that way. It's just that I guess work is work. And have you ever worked in a union environment?
Yeah, I'm currently in one. Okay. I got into it with them. Actually, I left the union because of a loophole. When you're in the public sector, if your job is funded by taxpayer dollars, you cannot be forced to go into the union. It falls under the U.S. Supreme Court case of AFSCME versus Janus, even in a right to work state. My falling out with the union was they were having these special conferences, and management and an administration wanted a couple of job titles changed so they can put it on the shift they want, to pick who they want. Then they eliminated a couple of jobs out of it. And when I asked about getting a wage adjustment for my job title along with the rest of my group, I was told, oh, no, we can't do that till contract negotiation, because if you open up the books and they want you to open up and do this and do that, well, then I come to find out like 6 months later, they did some shit and it was like, oh, that was a special conference. So I told them right in front of the union meeting, I'm a loudmouth. I says, there's to be no special conferences. I said, the only reason your union exists is because people choose to pay you dues. Right. You work for the union members. We don't answer to you. Don't forget that. I said, there is to be no special conferences. If you're requested for one from the administration, I said, you have to notify the union members first. Not that it's always got to be democracy, but we to be notified because you have your title and you do what you do because of the union members. They didn't like that shit. But see, the union president, the chief steward and all them, they get a nice, like, extra $400, $600 some dollars a month. And here's another kicker that happens. The president and the chief steward where I work at, they only got to work 4 out of 5 work days. They have it in the contract. They get this union business day. The only stipulation is they have to be at the workplace, but they only have to be doing their job. So they go up to the union office, then they order lunch on a union member's dime because it's official union business. There's a lot of shit,
There is.
Knowledge comes with doing stuff, and I've learned a lot of things over the years, but oh my goodness.
And you should know all of those things because those things directly affect you. Why shouldn't you know everything about your job?
Yeah.
Because they sure know everything that's going to benefit them. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and what you told him was right. No secret meetings, no special. No. That's unfair to the members who are paying their dues every month. They deserve to be informed about everything that's going on with their job because it affects them. So if somebody else is getting preferential treatment, those are supposed to be the things that you litigated against or about. So yeah, they can't do that. But of course, there's always that kind of shit going on. Always. So yeah, it's a mess.
I got 2 more good union stories for you. What the hell? It's Christmas. Let's have some fun, huh?
Right.
So anyway, this goes back probably about 5 years. My current workplace. Anyway, I brought up to the health and safety officer. This is another one in the union getting a couple $100 a month. It says, we're a health and safety officer. Well, I found out that the workplace, they allowed people come in there for a couple of days when Legionnaire's disease was detected. And then, granted, they did have a company come out, and I guess there was like chiller units or some shit. They had to put bleach in there and all this crap. But they're not supposed to let anybody in that fucking building when that gets detected till it's been, properly, safely cleaned and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so they're all bitching, and I said, okay, well, why don't you do this? I said, let's put the squeeze on them. I said, we have lower levels in this building and a couple other buildings. I says, what about radon testing? I says, have that done. I said, it's very cheap. It's just little kits. They put it down there. They mail it out to the lab. And if there's unsafe radon levels, then we got to get it taken care of. Oh, you know what? That is a great suggestion and shit. I said, that's something. It's not like carbon dioxide. There's no detector that'll just go off or you smell this shit,
Right.
Well, come to find out, like a couple months later, so I asked the guy, his name was Jim, what's going on with it? Well, yeah, the union does it, but right now, he says they're going to use that as a bargaining chip and tool. There's a few other things they want. So when the administration says that this will have to be put on hold or to revisit the issue, then they'll bring it up. I said, a bargaining chip? I said, this is about everybody's health and safety in the building. They don't give a fuck about what, they want this or that done, and they're going to use this as a bargaining chip. What the hell? Yeah. It's that, what do they say, it's the politics that goes on,
Yeah.
Always. To this day, there was no radon testing done yet.
The money will always go on, and it will always come first. Hopefully, they spread it around, but a lot of times, well, the people at the top always want to get theirs, and they're going to get theirs first. Mm-hmm. Everybody else will get theirs when it's time for them to get theirs. But yeah, it's something else. So,
go ahead.
I was going to ask you: have you ever left a job because of unsafe working conditions or because of mismanagement or anything like that? Have you ever done it or thought about doing it?
Oh gosh, I left some jobs. I got to go back some years. I left one job because I had a manager who was basically a fucking tyrant. Nothing was getting done, so I just said, "Up, I've had enough." Going unsafe work conditions. I do have a union story about that. Was going to be my next one, but I don't think I have. The few jobs that I've walked out and left have been more for reasons, I was working for an asshole. It's just a place I just couldn't stand working there anymore. Didn't want to be bothered with it, or I had a better job come in. I'm like, man, fuck this. I'm on. I'm done. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
Unsafe. That was my last union story. You bring that up. A lady I worked with told me this story. But anyway, they're in Warren, Michigan, which is just north of Detroit. There's the General Motors Tech Center, technology and development. Anyway, they had the security booths, where the cars come in and they check in cars as well as the trucks that come in, and they have their log sheets, they check in the trucks and this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. So one of these ones were like these delivery trucks were coming in. well, it happened to be in the spring, and then I guess there was like where you come in, it was kind of like gravel and dirt, in before you hit the pavement, you know. And when the rain would come in and make a big muddy mess, so where the windows were just all covered with dirt and shit. So the few guards that would work there, they couldn't see as they would, you know, step out to check in trucks, and you got maybe 3 or 4 feet, and you know, when you step out, you'll be right in the way of a truck coming in or whatnot. You gotta be real careful you don't get fucking hit. You know, that's a dangerous situation. So anyway, the housekeeping, well, janitorial, now they're called housekeeping, they were responsible for coming out there a few times a week and checking over this booth and then to clean it and do shit, you know. So they called it in, and then that work order gets like processed or requested, you know, if they hadn't come out. Well, the fuckers didn't come out for like about 2 weeks, and it's got to the point they could barely see out. So the work order went out, and then one of the security guards brought in some like Windex and some towels and shit, you know, and cleaned the outside of these windows and the inside. So anyway, finally the janitorial crew came out, and they're like, oh, these windows look clean here, just the ones in the back. And one of the guys goes, yeah, our guard brought in this stuff and cleaned it and this and that. They filed like a grievance, and then they were going to fire this fucking guy because he was doing a work that's for the union. You know, you can't be doing another union.
Oh, yeah.
And they were going to fucking terminate this dude. The only thing that saved him was a clause within, like, I don't know if it was a union contract or if it was the employer, but there was a clause if it's an immediate a health and safety issue, you know, where it can't wait 2 days or 24 hours, it has to be done. So the management had to get somebody to, you know, argue on his behalf, and it was the union that wanted him out of there. Well, they were being threatened. The janitorial felt that they were going to be getting outsourced.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were on a bender, is what I was told by this lady who was telling the story. But I'm like, holy fuck. Crazy, wow. Man.
It is. Wow. I mean, the thing about it, when it comes to these union stories, I mean, you always want to hear a bunch of them. And that's why, like I said, if you're not getting in trouble, you're just paying your dues. If you're the type of person that gets in trouble at work, the union is the place for you, because they're always going to try to look out for you. They're always going to try to, you know, save your skin, and not necessarily because they like you, but the more they do that, the more more confidence that the other members have in them. And, you know, the dues will be getting paid. You know, so you may be thinking like, well, that little $30 or however much you pay in union dues doesn't add up to that much. But you have to think about the amount of people that are contributing that, and other sites that they may have members in and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. It's a lucrative business, especially if you don't really have to do anything except for negotiate contracts every year or every other year, or however often you do it.
Yeah.
It's not that. Basically, it's almost like car insurance or any other insurance. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to pay whether you get into an accident or not. It's just that it really works well for those who get in accidents, i.e., trouble employees.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't want to just bash the union. Like I kind of touched on the good thing with the union. Let's say talking versus like non-union. One of the glaring obvious things. Well, I mentioned favoritism, but it's the collective bargaining due process protection. When you're in a non-union work environment, again, it's almost as simple as like Michigan. I don't know how Pennsylvania is or some of the other states the listeners are in, but a lot of states like Michigan are at will employment. Well, when you're non-union and at will, all it takes is somebody who doesn't like something about you that has nothing to do with the fucking job.
Yep.
And they just can just march in and say, your services are no longer needed here. And it's not easy to win in a civil case of wrongful termination. I mean, you got to have something good.
Yeah, it's hard, and you have to pay for your own lawyer. You know, it's very, very tough. So yeah, you lose out of, and that's what I said. That's why I said earlier in the show, one thing I like about the union is that everything is cut and dry. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you can do and what you can't do, or what you're supposed to do versus what you're not supposed to do. So we can argue until we're blue in the face about the I don't know, the circumstances that should be taken into consideration when dealing with somebody who has violated whatever is in the handbook. However, we know for a fact what is supposed to take place, and we know what actually took place. You know, so a non-union environment, you're right. It's, you know, people try to sue their employers, whatever, and can't afford to sue them. They wind up having to just get another job. So yeah,
you got to have something where you could prove, like, for example, racism or age discrimination, and then you got to have something backing that up, some witnesses that are willing to testify, or some documentation, you know, where your attorney could simply say, okay, I got a case here where basically attorney's going to look at it. Okay, I want something that I can force them to get a quick settlement where I don't have to go on trial for this shit, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing to swallow. Now, I do believe the union steward is, his or her job is basically just to make sure that the due process is just and fair, you know, where they'll do what they can to defend you, but it'll be just and fair. So, for example, let's say where you're at, some employee you caught, he was drinking on the job. Okay, so it's obvious he's an alcoholic, you know, and it got to the point where now he's drinking on the job. But the union could say, well, you know, we've had these 3 other cases here where if it's their first offense caught drinking on the job, that they're allowed to roll in AA for, you know, 12 months. And if there's no other problems that you know, then this will be taken care of and still protect their job. Where if you're, let's say, at a corporation and it's at will employment, they just say, your services are no longer needed here, hit the road, Jack. If you get an AA, well, that's good for you. We don't need you here.
Yeah. There are a lot of issues with non-union. I've seen people get set up and played, and you know, they just didn't have any leverage. They were literally pushed out by the power source, and there was nothing they could do about it. So, you know, like even though I've seen people in the non-union environment be treated fairly also, because I've known people who were on their final warning, and you know, after your final warning, you're supposed to be terminated if you violate again. Well, I've seen them violate several times after the final warning, and still keep their job. And a lot of times it was because the union, you know, spoke up for them. So yeah, I, like you, I recognize the good that unions bring to the table. It's just that, you know, we have to acknowledge everything. It's just, the
good and bad, the good and bad with it, I also think too is, excuse me, that the other thing is, you know, the small business is always here. Oh, it's the backbone of America and all that, but it's one drawback. Like people being employed in the small business sector, you know, as opposed to a corporation. Whether a corporation, like you could talk one that's, let's say you're in a big corporation, but you're a non-union employee. You still have a human resources department, people that are pretty educated. So you're being done wrong. If someone's got some personal issue, they'll step in and say, wait a minute, we're just not going to march that out the fucking door here. What, you got to give us something more than this. And then they'll say, okay, well, what? It looks like you got a personal problem with it. you might be the fucking problem. But a small business can just be like, hey, you got to leave, go. You know, it's very volatile. Like, damn, man, this fucker, I could tell he's not liking me. Am I going to have my job here in a fucking week? Where a corporation, you're like, well, the supervisor don't fucking like me. But if he takes this dumb shit, the human resources, they're going to squash him like a grape. But, you know, you don't have that type of protection at all in a small business. You're just fucked. If you're not liked, hit the road, Jay.
Yeah, and I've seen it. I've actually been the victim of it before, you know, so yeah, I know how it feels, and it really sucked. It really, really sucked. And mine was on the supervisor side. So I know what it's like to be victimized by poor management, even though I'm working in management. You know, sometimes working in management will show you how certain cliques and everything like that might roll. So you think that you're on the team that's supposed to recognize another team as being the opponent. Come to find out, your opponents are right there in front of you.
Yeah.
And listen, I've seen some really, I definitely have some management stories. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Like when we talk about, it's not the job, it's the boss, or it's the management. When management is bad, it affects everybody else on that job, because poor management will have you doing somebody else's job in a thankless way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, you really shouldn't have to. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong for one person to fill in where there may be an absence or something like that. But once you make that a permanent thing, that's just, you know, you're not taking into consideration what else they may have going on, you know, like as far as their family is concerned, possibly children are concerned, their private life. Somebody is waiting for them, you know, to get off at a certain time, and you are basically impeding or you know, imposing your will to make somebody do something that they wouldn't ordinarily do or don't want to do. So yeah, it's I've seen a lot of bad, or been a part of some bad management, very, very poor. And you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing. So I've actually left jobs where there was poor management. Because it's like, and one of the things I ask every employer when I go to get a new job, is I ask them, what if you could grade the level of support that management has for each other, from 1 being the least to 5 being the best, like how many stars would you give? And you know, they try to get around that question, whatever. But it's something you need to know, because from my point of view, is if you're hiring a new manager, then the likelihood that you like the previous management is low. You know, like businesses don't change management or leadership when leadership is working. It don't work that way. So you messing up on the job, you fucking up, well, we got to get rid of you. It's business, never pleasure. Yeah. Or should I say business, never personal. There's plenty of pleasure. But yeah. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, you know, and you can't get into thinking that these jobs hold your whole lifestyle in the balance. Sure, they have some of the marbles, and so do you, but you have to recognize what you bring to the table. That's why earlier in the chat I wrote, never forget that you are the talent. Mm-hmm. You're the talent. And sometimes we forget that, because when you don't know where the checks are coming from, anybody can lie and tell you where they might where they're coming from, and you could be wrong for a long time, and wind up biting a bullet over that. So yeah, you may leave a job because of poor management or because of poor ownership or poor business practices or the money or whatever. But there's normally something that you like about a certain job, whether it's easy, whether it's the coworkers are cool, whether it's, very lucrative, pays a lot of money. And, people try to act like the amount of the salary that they make is not as important as something else, and I'm thinking like, no. You go to a job to make money. That's what you go there for. Yeah. So,
I would put a little credence, not nearly as much as the money. And I agree with you on that. Is you got to be kind of in a work environment or a job that you enjoy doing. If you've got some type of job that you just can't stand, you hate, but it's paying good money, it's usually never going to stay long term.
Mm-hmm.
But I see one. You made me remember when I'm going back to the '90s when I was in college. I worked at a couple car dealerships, for like small business. And this one, I ended up leaving after about 3 months. I was there. The guy who owned the dealership, he was like a real old guy. And anyway, this body shop, I worked in the service department, but the body shop manager and the manager in the parts department, they were both a couple of, they were like in their later 20s, but just egotistical a-holes, and they just treat a lot of their staff like shit. And then, it was like nothing was ever done, even when the planes would come in and stuff. The old man just cared, okay, is everything functioning normal, working all right? Then fine. And and you see a lot of people quit and, fired. But that was one thing I noticed was like, ooh, man, but it was like a toxic environment, but that's one of the drawbacks. There's no HR department, whatever. It's just, I don't like it. There's the fucking door. But, that gets into a whole other topic, the pros and cons of, the small business versus, working in a corporation.
Yeah.
But I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. It's just, the service manager wasn't that bad. Yeah. There was a lot of them. It's just the sales manager, the sales managers, there was like 2 of them, but one of them was another egotistical asshole, It was just I guess that you call like a toxic work environment, I remember that. I was like, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here, and I was gone.
Yeah. I still contend that there's nothing worse than a bad job.
Yeah.
Of course, you're always going to find some positives in it. You better, just to be able to get up and go there every day. But it's a terrible feeling when you have contempt for the place that's sustaining your livelihood. Like, I went here so I can live well, and I feel like this is the place that's making me sick. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. Yeah, but it's something that we got to deal with. So yeah, it's not the job, it's the management, now there can be times when it may be your coworkers. Coworkers can make your life a living hell, or it can make it a really great experience. If you're dealing with coworkers that are always in your business, maybe they're a little bit jealous hearted, maybe they, maybe they're envious, maybe you have something that they don't have, and it doesn't always have to be a material item. You may just have a better attitude or a greater hold on peaceful feelings than they do, and they ready to beat you down because of it. That ain't cool, but it happens. It happens,
yeah. And
it's a shame that somebody could make you leave your job, because the job is something that you picked. No jobs pick you and make you come in for an interview and train you and all that kind of stuff. You signed up for all of that. And in that way, it's like choosing a woman, like, listen, I saw you, I asked you out, you said yes, and all of that kind of shit. And you wind up, your ass wind up getting busted because her punishment for you pursuing her is her giving you all of this BS. It happens. You know what I mean? And that's the same way it can feel when you are going to work for somebody that is hard to work for. You're gonna be asking yourself, how the hell did I get into this shit? And this is crazy. It can make you start looking at humanity differently. Yeah, man.
I had a friend I worked with, as you bring that up. When he got out, he was having some issues. He worked at doing selling furniture. Well, I was making some money, but it was all it wasn't hourly or salary. Commission. That's the word I'm looking for. Sales and commission. So like him and this other guy were like the top two, but he started getting a lot of hatred and just bad treatment from a bunch of other people there at the store. They didn't like it. But he's like, well, hey, I have certain social skills and I engage with the people and do this and that. And I had a lot of people that were lazy. And he goes, oh, fuck it, I'm here to make money. And, he ended up leaving as me. But I imagine that, that can become a factor too when you get into, if you're in one of those jobs where it's like commission sales, whether it's a car dealership, selling furniture, doing stuff,
Yeah. Any job can either make you feel good or make you feel fucking terrible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go in here. I want to have to mentally prepare myself. I already have to calculate the things that you're going to say and what I'm going to say in order to counter it or, get out of harm's way. This, what do they call it? Not a toxic work environment, but they call it a hostile work environment. Oh, shit. Yeah, management is waging threats against you. And I've actually been through that before. A fucking hostile work environment. Ugh. But at least that's a word that HR has to take into consideration because they want to make sure that they protect the company's assets. And yeah. So if you ever put down hostile work environment, if you ever go to HR with that, they have to take you seriously. You can be lying, but you'll get something done. You will definitely get something done because an investigation is going to take place. It could be a paid suspension pending an investigation. You know how this shit go.
Well, see, that would be like what I'm thinking of, what you're just touching on too. I'll use like religion and sex for an example. Small business versus the corporation. A small business, someone comes in and they're Muslim, and let's say on their lunch break they put their prayer rug out, and then but then all of a sudden they start getting a bunch of different employees around the small business making remarks and insults and shit.
Yeah.
Well, most likely they're going to get away with that. Where a corporation, when you have an HR department or a union involved, they'll squash that shit quick. They're like, Joe Blow said these comments about you being Muslim and such and such.
Yep.
They'll drag your ass in and say, hey, here's your write-up. If it continues, you're done. There's some small business they'll get away with that, and then gets into the whole thing with the well, I kind of split on this, but when we get into that sexual harassment stuff, I understand certain things do need to intervene, but I do believe, to me, this is just an opinion to say this is you show the live stream. It's gone a little bit overboard with the sexual harassment to the point where I'll give an example again. I can compliment a female employee that comes in. Let's say she has red's my favorite color in women in general, but let's say it's a nice red outfit she has on. I just, I don't know, for a while I was like, wow. I feel like I'll stop. I'm like, man, that is one nice outfit you have on. You look beautiful in it. You have a terrific day, Sandra. And they go, oh, I felt uncomfortable. He made this comment and that comment. Now, granted, I ain't going to get fired, but shit, they'll drag me upstairs and say, well,
sure
it was unwelcomed and she don't appreciate it. So this is your warning and this and that. I'm being like, what the fuck? You might feel a little comfortable. We just made a comment. Is there anything else with this? But it's going to like an extreme. But some things I do understand, if some woman's coming to the workplace and you're slapping her on the butt and saying, hey, man, you look nice today. Well, yeah, that's a little bit, I guess the common sense, some of it is gone and then it's just gone too far. But anyway, curious your take on that.
No, I mean, this Me Too shit, it gets in the way. Now, to be fair, there have been plenty of people who have practiced sexual harassment on the job. It may have started off innocently playing or whatever, but sometimes when innocent playing happens, sometimes people take it to another level, and then it can get out of hand. Now you can easily say that it should have never been started in the first place, but sometimes when two people are friendly towards each other, and there may be an attraction, even if it's not a physical or sexual attraction, it's still an attraction to the point where you don't mind working around them, and everything is okay. You have a harmonious situation going on. But yeah, people can get mad at you and then claim that you sexually harassed them, and they got receipts. It happened on this day and this date. I've seen people do this shit. Just name off a random date. Yeah, I think it was on a Monday. Now, and that's not to undermine the true victims of workplace sexual harassment, because what usually winds up happening is whoever is sexually harassed, they go to HR about it, and then there's a hearing and all that kind of stuff. And many times it doesn't come out the way you think it's going to come out. Sometimes you can wind up getting fired in the process. Like, or laid off, or pending an investigation, all kinds of crazy shit, man. When it comes to these jobs, it's hard at times to keep the main thing, which is your bottom line. I'm just trying to get a couple of dollars. But like you may see somebody else making more money than you, and you want to make as much money as them, it can go down a deep rabbit hole that's too hard for you to climb up out of. Yeah, but we've reached the very end, sir.
Okay, man. And Merry Christmas to you and everybody here tuning in to the show.
Without a doubt, man. You have a great Christmas. Happy holiday. Be safe. And I'll see you on the next go round. We'll be here tomorrow night. You know how that go. How that go. So see you then.
Monday Night Football, Lions 49ers. Gonna be a good one.
How? The Niners are eliminated.
Well, there's the Lions win and the Packers beat the Vikings. Lions clinched the number one spot in the NFC.
Right.
But if the Lions lose, or let's say the Lions win, but the Vikings beat the Packers, then it all goes down to the last game of the season. Vikings, Lions. I think all roads go to Detroit, but you're going to like what I'm going to say next, though. I just don't see the Lions beating Eagles in the NFC Championship, whether it's at Ford Field here in Detroit or a Philly. We just got too many players out. And I know it sounds like an excuse, but to me, the starters at the season are banged up and out. And the Eagles are playing damn good football. It wasn't like they were squashed, like by 10 or 14 points by the Commanders, and he lost on a would play and shoot that, that shit like that'll happen. But
yeah,
I'd probably say I'll put this way, if I had to put money on it, I'm going Bills and Eagles for Super Bowl.
Well, we'll see, because the Eagles we still have to make it through the wild card and or the divisional round if we don't get the number one seed. So we'll see. We've never gone to the Super Bowl without being the number one seed. So that would be uncharted territory for us. And the other thing is, while we're talking about football, just a second, this actually ties in with the topic, because I was thinking about this before we started the show. Like, imagine being a football player. You like your team, maybe you like your teammates, maybe you like the city that you play for and all that kind of stuff, but you play for like a Jerry Jones. So you know that no matter how much you love the Cowboys, for example, the goddamn Cowboys, as much as you may like them or like playing for them, you year after year, you know that it's going to be hard for you to ever advance, because administratively, they don't pick the right players. They don't put themselves in the position to win. They don't make the right moves at the right times. You know what I mean? You have an owner that wants to be a general manager. It has not been working out, but it has been working out for him fiscally. You know what I mean? I would imagine that's a tough position to be in as an athlete. Like, I love my team. And I love the city that I play for, but we're never going to win, and I want to win. You know what I mean? So it ain't the job, it ain't the team, but it might be management. It might be the coach. So yeah. So, all right, let's get out of here.
Hey, take care.
All right, man, take care.
Yeah.
Good stuff there. Good stuff. Make sure y'all go and check out my man, Info Spot 411. Go by his channel. He got good stuff over there. He has really good content over there. Doing big things. All right. Let's do these birthday shout outs, my peoples. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious Christmas Eve, December 24th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special, because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. My people is going all the way back to the 1990. Kim Bacone. Happy birthday to you, Ma. And also Yamel Hernandez and Gloria Nasasi and Meta Page 2 Washington and Melvita McKenzie and Israel Favor Austin. Happy birthday. And my man Mike Pope. Happy birthday to you. And last but not least, my girl Beverly Muse. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious December 24th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. I rock out, rock on and do the damn to rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. Go hard, go for yours. And remember, the job that you have, you shouldn't have to steal and rob. everything should be cool. But sometimes when you go in there, it feels like school. Didn't want to get up or take no test, but you know you're the best, and the rest, they look at you. Maybe they hating on the things that you are and the things you do. But who do they really think they are? You are the number one. Yeah, something like a superstar. But the bar that y'all like to drink in has you in your feelings, and you're thinking that you might have to change jobs, maybe career, because this one ain't working out right here. Yeah. Sometimes you have to make a little plans to rearrange and make a big change. But don't let nobody knock you off your square, because they ain't the ones making all of that check around here. And if the money ain't right, then you gotta move on and get somewhere where it's tight. Or should I say the purse strings are opening up? It's gonna be all right. You think it won't? Yup. I can see you in about 5 years doing all kind of things in your new career, making moves, going to school, trying to make the money double, staying out of trouble. And you're setting a good example for your kids and the rest of the youth. Sort of like a phone booth. Back in its day, you made a lot of money. Hey, everything has an expiration date, but don't try me. Are you listening to the words I'm saying? Yeah, it's December 25th now. I ain't playing. Open up your presents. Get a little grub. Drink a little coffee and get off me. The kids running down the steps like, where did I get this? Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah. iPhone 16. What a expensive president. Expensive president. Whatever happened to a bike? In something like a train set, a hobby house, a Barbie car. Now I gotta buy you a real car? Okay, anyway. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night. Yes, 2 a.m. Tomorrow night. Yes, we'll be back with another daily Go Get a Business show. So make sure y'all come on through. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. Love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all to death. Again, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. All right, so we can clock out. Everything is going to be all right. Don't steal no more time. Everything good. Y'all have a good night. Be peaceful. If I don't speak to y'all again during this Christmas time or this Christmas day, please have a merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, and if you celebrate at all. But be safe, have a good time as much as you can, regardless of what you do. Peace, y'all.